Hello, my name is Anamitra Paul, and I am a senior undergraduate at Rice University working with Dr. Frank Gertz in the T.W. Bonner Nuclear Lab. Our project is improving a dielectron identification in Quark Gluon plasma using artificial neural networks. First, I will provide some background for our work. According to the standard model of particle physics, fundamental particles known as quarks are bound together by the strong interaction to form hadrons, that is, particles such as protons and neutrons. Above a certain extremely high temperature, these quarks deconfine into a state of matter known as quark gluon plasma, or QGP. We're interested in studying QGP as it provides insights into the strong interaction, as well as the early conditions of the universe during the Big Bang. To do so, we study dielectron decays in particle colliders, that is, the creation of electron-positron daughter particle pairs that result from heavy ion collisions. It's very important to efficiently identify these signal dielectron decays from other background particle decays using collider track data, such as the particle's momentum, dEdx, or energy loss per distance value, speed, and other variables. Current classical dielectron ID techniques are largely cut-based. In the time projection chamber detector of a particle collider, electrons leave a very specific response in their dEdx versus momentum distribution. These responses are very similar to other hadrons such as pions and kaons. Using independent speed versus momentum distribution data collected from a time-of-flight detector, selections may be made to maximize the electron sample purity rate. That is the number of electrons or positrons divided by the total number of particles in the sample. Instead of these classical techniques, we employed artificial neural networks, particularly multilayer perceptrons for binary classification between electrons and non-electrons. We studied both shallow networks with one hidden layer and deep networks with two hidden layers. We generated 2 million samples of training data using the Geon4 simulation framework. Then, we trained our neural networks with the default atom optimizer, learning rate, and decay rate in TensorFlow. We also optimized the number of neurons in each layer using a grid search approach. Then, we made inferences on unlabeled collision data from the Relativistic Heavy Ion Collider at the Brookhaven National Laboratory. We found that deep neural networks generally perform better than shallow networks for electron identification. In particular, we compared the performance of a shallow network with 400 neurons in its hidden layer to a deep network with 200 and 100 neuron hidden layers. As can be seen, the accuracy and area under curve metrics are higher for the deep network. Finally, we used the deep network for inference on the unlabeled collision data. We found that the network is clearly successful at suppressing background tracks and correctly identifying electrons, as can be seen in their dEdx versus momentum and speed versus momentum distributions. Preliminary results also suggest that this network samples electrons with a 97.3% purity rate, outperforming classical techniques that have a purity rate closer to 96%. In the future, we plan to do more extensive testing comparing neural networks to the classical particle identification techniques. We also plan to train the networks on more data, as well as implement multi-label particle classification. Thank you.